Welcome back to another episode of Connecting with Creatives. I am your host, Jay Britton, and today on this episode, we're going to talk about going from corporate to your calling, how to plan your exit strategy. Now, if this is your first time and tuning into the episode here on YouTube or Spotify or Apple, make sure you guys leave me a 5-star review and let me know if this was helpful so I can continue to make content like this. Okay, so if you guys don't know by now, I am a executive coach. What does that mean? Well, I work with corporate coaches or leaders or business owners, and I help them find ways. I coach them ways to offer more offers of their services, their skills, or their product, right? This video, we're going to talk about you sitting in that meeting, hiding and watching this video or listening to it with your AirPods in while you should be on that team meeting. You're tired of being called in several meetings, leading hundreds of people, building somebody else's empire. Well, this video is for you. And I'm so passionate about calling out you where you're at and empowering my clients. I've been doing this for years, from personal training, I was coaching before I even knew I was coaching, because this is who I naturally am as a real person, not just on social media or in the podcast land. This is me. So I want to impart in you different ways I've been able to help my clients. So how do you make that transition? Well, first you got to plan. And if you're a leader and you've been having success and you have a great track record of leading people, then you know you have to plan, right? So if you've been consulting on the side, right, your side hustle, if you've been coaching on the side, if you've been doing side projects and you want to make it a real thing, well, I'm here to tell you it is possible. And the first thing we have to do that you could take away from this video is just assess the landscape that you're currently in. What are your financials look like? Do you have support from your significant other? Is it the right time for your kids in college? Are they playing sports? Will you be attentive? Well, I'm here to tell you there's no perfect time like the present time, right? There will never be a perfect time for you to take actionable steps into building something that can be sustainable over time. So just assess where you're at and get with your significant other and see how you guys can map this out. You have to allocate, 1 to 2 hours a week to work on this. This is not, a hobby. You're doing this intentionally. You're doing this strategically, and you're doing this with passion, effort. All right. And then the next thing you got to do is set smart goals, set realistic goals. Now, if you've been having side hustles, if you've been doing speaking engagements, I have a client that has done speaking engagements for, the fire department, and this is side hustle, making good money, making $6,000 off of these speaking engagements and 1,500 here, 1,000 here. Well, I'm here to tell you that is realistic and you could have more, but you have to have a strategy. So if you're already making income from your side hustles, something, you're passionate about, and maybe you're not getting paid as much, I want to tell you and encourage you that it's possible to add to your income or replace your income or to go into full-time corporateurship. So if you heard that or you're hearing that for the first time, corporateurship, that's corporate entrepreneur. You're a creative by nature, but you're in that corporate setting and you want to transition into being a full-time entrepreneur, you're a corporatepreneur, right? So you heard it first, Jay Britton on Connecting with Creatives podcast. All right, side ran off. So the next step you have to take is just mapping it out and executing, that assessment, those goals, setting those smart goals, and then you have to work on it each and every week. If you could spend an hour, a day, I know it's not realistic, especially when you have to put out fires as a leader. I understand people are pulling you into certain meetings. They're just adding, you to their calendar. They're just hopping on calls. And I understand, I hear all the time from my clients. So I understand where you are and I have empathy, but you have to time block. You have to manage those expectations and you have to speak with certain conviction, if you will, when it's your time and setting up those boundaries. Again, I'm here for you guys. I know what it is like. I've experienced it myself, and I help my clients get to the next phase. So, and then the last thing we want to talk about actionable steps. So you want to be able to create 6 to 12 months of a plan and you have to work that plan. Then you break that macro plan down into milestones, right? You could break it down in quarters, or if you can break it down weekly, the more you're dialed in on that plan, the better results you're going to get. Then you have to set like KPIs, just like you do in your leadership meetings with your direct reports, performance review. You have to set it with yourself, right? So you've been building someone else's empire for years. Now it's time for you to build yours. You're getting paid 6+ figures to sit in the seat and lead the teams that you're leading. Now it's time to lead your own team. You can do this. See, that's I'm going to go off on a rant here. See, that's the thing, that school is great, but I don't think school is great for everyone. And if you guys are like, I'm a millennial, so I know that it was preached the generations before me, and even in my generation, that school's not for everybody. You're that corpreneur that understands that there's something more. I'm telling you, they pay you all of that money because you're an asset in building their empire. You can do it for yourself. And the only thing that separates you from them is that they have a system. It's all about systems, and it's all about execution. The organization that you work for at one point was a very, very small company. It was one person, then two, then three. I'm here to empower you. I'm here to let you know it's possible for you to. And hey, maybe it's not as big and grandioso or huge like the company you work for. Maybe it's on a smaller scale, and you can have automated income while you sleep, right? And we're talking about the information that you have in your head, the experience that you have, whether it's speaking engagements. You want to get on stages? Well, you can do that. You want to create digital courses, digital products to offer people in your industry that you've been consulting for, that you've been giving away for free. Well, it's time to package it up. It's time to start doing that for yourself. All right. So you can do that. You mentoring people, you're developing them. Well, you're a teacher, you're a coach, you're a speaker, you're a consultant, and there's a new day here and you have to take charge right now. So assess SMART goals, work the goals, set those actionable steps, 6 to 12 to 18 months. Like, you got to have that, that framework. You got into where you are because you've been strategic about your career and how you navigated those office politics. Shout out to Jory. You'll have to do that for yourself too in the new landscape. So if you want to know more about this, make sure you hit the link, right? Hit the link in the description. I'm only working with a select few because I have a very, very small team, and I want to be able to impart and work with you closely. So if you qualify to work with me, if this is the right time, if you're in the right place mentally, financially, and ready to invest in your freedom, let me know. Reach out to me, and we'll get back to you. So I'll see you guys in the next one, but I'm here to let you know this is possible.